Good morning, can you hear me? Mic's on. Thanks very much for the intro, Nick. Congratulations to everyone for making it through to day 3. And I'm very excited. It's the first time I've presented a small-scale West Australian iron ore miner in the critical minerals green tech section. So if you've wandered in here interested in lithium and battery metals and the exciting space of rare earths and others, nickel, I'm about to tell you a very exciting story, and it's in iron ore. I burn 1 million litres of diesel a month, and we don't even have yet the future industry section of our company. But we do make a lot of money, and we do pay our shareholders a dividend, and I think we've got a really exciting story, so stay tuned for it. And as Nick said in the introduction, we've recently made a major acquisition, having bought Mount Gibson's Midwest assets in WA. And as you can see on the title of the presentation that's on the ASX and on our website, it's a game changer for Fenix. But let me introduce the company to you first. We have an unusually high-grade ore body. The infill drilling we're doing at the moment, when I get the results, you have to question them. 65, 66% iron ore from surface all the way through to the end of drilling. It's an amazing ore body. It's actually part of the mythology of that region. In the Dreamtime stories, we mine in a very sensitive area in a cooperation agreement with the Wadjuri people. And we produce a 64% lump product and a 63% fines product. Low impurities, high value. It's very, very easy to sell. The challenge with that project is it's one of the many stranded ore bodies, not just iron ore bodies in the Midwest. When I went to high school, there were various iron ore alliances in the Midwest, huge companies looking to build iron ore businesses well before Fortescue and Atlas and others were more successful in the north. And I'm convinced that Fenix is going to unlock that potential, as we've shown with Iron Ridge. We're producing at 1.3 million tonnes per annum. It's a little bit over 100,000 tonnes a month. We're very proud of our pathway from a junior explorer to commissioning and now production. Very steady state, very profitable since inception. And critically, in a bulk commodity producer, we're actually a fully integrated logistics provider, and it's an absolutely critical element to our next phase of growth. Actually, mining is the easiest thing that we do. The more challenging and where we've been successful is hauling our material 500 kilometres to the port of Geraldton, storing it and then shipping it. And we control all aspects of that operation. We're a miner, we're a bulk commodity logistics provider in terms of haulage, and we own our own port facilities. So as part of that, we have a state-of-the-art fleet of 30 haul trucks there. We designed them, we built the trailers in Western Australia. They're 65 metres long. The total weight is 200 tonnes. They're a quad road train, side tipping, and they're a fantastic innovation, and it allows us to move material on roads at a rate that could only otherwise be achieved on rail. And I mentioned we've been strongly profitable. We recently celebrated our 3 millionth tonne of production at a steady state of 1.3 million tonnes per annum from first production. And we've averaged more than $50 Australian as an operating margin. And we have been experiencing during that period a volatile iron ore price. At times it's been very high, but also at other times it's been below $100. We've hedged successfully, we've controlled our costs successfully, and it's allowed us to pay very healthy dividends to our shareholders. But let me show you the operation in real time and give you a little bit. This is our existing operations at Iron Ridge. There's the ore body, nice big black stripe. There's no ribbons in our pit. It's very easy to mine. We're very proud of the cleanliness of the mine. We've got a very small footprint here. I mentioned that it's culturally sensitive. We have a digger and 3 trucks. Macca Mining are our contractor. Very simple crushing and screening. This is, as I mentioned, high-grade direct shipping ore. We produce a lump product and a fines product. There's the mine, very simple. We're in stage 2 of what will be a stage 3 pit. We've got about 8 million tonnes of resources left, so just over 5 years of mine life from here. But we've done no exploration. This ore body was defined some time ago, and we're confident that there is significant extensions to the existing ore body. but we're also in a region where there is hundreds of millions of tonnes around us, and they're all stranded, and we're talking to people about how we can unlock their infrastructure. Here's the key link from our mine to our haulage operation, the weighbridge at Iron Ridge. And there's someone starting their 500-kilometre journey to the port of Geraldton. We own the only side-tipping truck unloader at Geraldton. That facility you can see there is Fenix owned. It connects to our shed 13, and that allows us to load Panamax boats on berth 4 or 5 of the Geraldton port. A fantastic piece of infrastructure. The West Australian Government in their last year's budget allocated $350 million to expand the Port of Geraldton. The justification for that investment is that they expect bulk commodity out of the existing Port of Geraldton to grow to more than 30 million tonnes a year. It's currently doing about 10. Keep that in your mind because I'm going to refer to it later in relation to what is a game-changing acquisition. I mentioned it earlier. We acquired Mount Gibson's iron ore assets in the Midwest. Mount Gibson, a mid-cap mining company, have mined 50 million tonnes in the Midwest. They had a very successful operation at Talleran Peak and an Extension Hill. Those mines have been depleted. Mount Gibson are now operating an amazing iron ore mine at Koolan Island. And we have acquired the Shine iron ore mine. It's 15 million tonnes of resources. It's currently on care and maintenance. Along with that mine, we've acquired Mount Gibson's 2 rail sidings, which gives us unparalleled access to rail infrastructure, particularly for projects south of the Mad Magnet Highway that connects us to Geraldton. And we've also acquired a significant expansion of our existing storage facilities at the port. And so at the moment we have a mine and haulage fleet and a small shed at the port, and we're in the process of settling a transaction which will see our capacity of the port grow by 400%. And that's the constraint. The reason why we produce from Iron Ridge at 1.3 million tonnes per annum is it's a very easy operation. But what defined the scale of that operation was what we could get through our storage facility at the port. We can now contemplate expanding production from Iron Ridge, but more importantly, we can look at unlocking other iron ore bodies and other ore bodies in the Midwest region around us based on our unparalleled haulage capacity and a unique storage and port loading capacity at the port. So that's very exciting. This is the Shine iron ore mine in the Midwest. As you can see, it's shovel ready. Mount Gibson commissioned this mine during 2022 due to a spike in shipping cost and a dive in iron ore prices and their difficulties with their haulage contractors. They put that mine on care and maintenance shortly after commissioning it. So the mine plan itself is quite straightforward, and Fenix can unlock the challenges that Mount Gibson had in operating it. We have the port capacity, we have the haulage capacity, and we have a very high-grade ore body at Iron Ridge that matches the characteristics. The 58% resource ore body here at Shine allows us to contemplate creating a range of very high-quality, high-value Fenix products in combination, and significant opportunity to expand our mine life. Here's an aerial shot of the bulk commodity section of the Geraldton port. You'll notice, if anyone has been to Port Hedland or any iron ore port in the world, one of the remarkable things about this photograph is the fact that there's not a lot of red dust around. That's due to some really high technology that we employ in the operation of our shed, which is shed 13. And we've just acquired shed 4 and shed 5. And if you look at the, 80-foot boats in the fishing boat harbour on the left of that screen, or look at the scale of the tugboats, you start to get an idea of just how big these sheds are. We store 80,000 tonnes of iron ore material in shed 13. Shed 4 is about twice as big, and shed 5, if I'm trying to provide people with a reference, I point out that you can actually fit 2 rugby fields end on end inside shed 5, and it's high enough to actually play games of rugby inside it. So these are huge facilities, and they're a unique opportunity. The rail sidings are a useful and unique opportunity. We've also acquiring some camp assets, some crushing assets. Mount Gibson have been operating for more than 20 years. There's a lot of really interesting parts of this acquisition. We paid $25 million for these assets. The replacement cost of the sheds at Geraldton is $200 million. but more importantly, they sit on a unique parcel of land which no one has access to. So we have a 25-year lease over the ground on which the sheds sit, and we know that we're going to be able to use them to make a lot of money. Let me tell you a little bit about Fenix, though, our existing operations. We're back to Iron Ridge. This is a great story. You're here looking and hearing. It's great to be amongst a peer group of aspirational companies. I love listening to the other stories and that are here. However, in the junior resources space, it's actually quite unusual for people to be able to say we published a feasibility study in 2019. It said we needed $15 million to start the mine at Iron Ridge. And the feasibility study said that we could produce iron ore at a C1 cash cost of $85 Australian. I mentioned that we, weeks ago, celebrated our 3 millionth tonne, and I can say that if you look at this pathway, we raised $15 million from the markets in 2019. We built the project for $15 million. We've since paid back $50 million in fully franked dividends to the shareholders who participated in that equity raising. We have more than $70 million in cash. We have no senior debt. And our average C1 cost over the 3 million tonnes is $84 FOB Geraldton. That shouldn't be so unique, but in the junior resources space, that's a fantastic record, and it's one we're going to use to springboard to further profitability and further reward to our shareholders. If we were a lithium company, we'd be capped at $4 billion, but we're cheap and we're going to grow, and we're a logistics provider waiting to happen. I've spoken about the ore body, where we think there's lots of extension opportunities. You can see the ore down the middle there. It's nice and easy to mine. It's 30 metres wide. It's incredibly high grade. Integrated, we have our own haulage fleet. It's a state-of-the-art operation. Our largest cost component is haulage, and we've now unlocked the ability to use that. Unlike a railway, we can move it, and we have a fantastic team that run a very high-tech business, unique assets at the port, and we now have unparalleled access to rail. What does that mean? You know, we heard earlier from a number of stories that are relevant. Peter Harold was talking about his fantastic nickel projects and put up a map and showed where they were. These are all the projects in and around Geraldton that are currently in feasibility studies or in exploration phase. And these aren't just iron ore deposits, known iron ore deposits looking for a haulage or a port solution. These can be talc, garnet, potash, vanadium, obviously spodumene, rare earths, all sorts of commodities. And all of them need a pathway to market. They need their material, whether it's a concentrate or a bulk commodity or even a containerised concentrate. They need to get it from where it is to the port and into a boat. And we want to talk to them. We think there's a fantastic opportunity to demonstrate what we've done for iron ore for anyone else. So stay tuned on that. We're very proud of our team and our growth of our team. We've created 200 jobs in the Midwest region. We have an academy. We have an unparalleled employment level of Indigenous people. We're working with Clontarf. We have our own academy. We've built the world's first truck driver training simulator, similar to the airline industry. It allows us to take unskilled new people to the industry and turn them into the drivers that we want behind our state-of-the-art fleet. I mentioned we burned 1 million litres of diesel a month. It doesn't mean that we're not unaware of the opportunities for us to help save the planet. Our high-grade iron ore products are obviously beneficial to the steel-making process in terms of reducing impurities, and we're also looking for new opportunities to effectively bring down our cost. We'd love to trial hydrogen trucks, and we're talking to Volvo around that, and we've got a range of other community activities on. We've sponsored a number of Indigenous businesses. We're a partnership business with our contractors, with our shareholders, and the most important partnership we have is with the Wodjiri Yamaji people, the traditional owners of the land in which we mine at Iron Ridge, and our partnership with them is crucial to the operation of our company, but we've also sponsored a number of their businesses, and I'm pleased to say they're all working very well. We've got a $200 million market cap. We made $50 million profit in 2021. We made $50 million profit in 2022. We're about to publish our June quarterly and then flow that on to what will be another profitable year for Fenix in 2023. We're in the iron ore business, so everyone thinks that although we've made money, we might not make money in the future. We've hedged half of our production to the end of December at 170 Australian dollars. I mentioned our C1 cash cost is 85 FOB Geraldton, about $60 on the back of what today is a $115 62% benchmark index, and we get a premium above that price. So this is a highly profitable company with a fantastic logistics footprint, and we're about to look at the opportunity to go from being a single mine, 1.3 million per annum profitable iron ore miner, to we're looking for new mining opportunities ourselves. We want to back other companies, but we're also going to be a third-party provider of logistics to the Midwest, and that's the game-changing region. This is a fantastic place to mine. Lots of people need solutions. That's why the Australian government are putting $350 million into the port. What no one's looked at is where is that material going to come from, and who's going to get it to port, and who's going to ship it through the port, and it's going to be Fenix. Fantastic team. I'm here on my own at the booth. I'm a bit lonely. Please come and talk to me. Love to talk to you, and get on board Fenix. Look forward to seeing you next year here. Thank you.